I thought that we might just talk a little bit about a show that is having a new life. Its creator is Chris Dockrill from the beautiful area of Crescent Head here on the Mid-North Coast. And Chris joins me now. Chris, good morning.
Good morning, Cameron.
Now, Doc Moron, this was your creation, and it's having a new life in the form of a brand new feature film, which you're doing some special screenings of.
That's right, Cam. Yes, we're about to launch a film of the live show. It's what I call a hybrid film, and we're due to have our launch at the Dendy Opera Keys on the 23rd of March.
Exciting. So this film, tell me about what will feature in it.
Well, the film is a film of the live show, but as I said, it's a hybrid film in that when you think of a film of a live show, you probably think, well, there's 2 or 3 cameras out with the audience filming front on, and you're recording front of house ambient sound, etc. Our film's nothing like that. We knew right from the start what we wanted to do with our Moron project. We actually filmed our live show with 14 cameras per shoot, and we did it over a series of shows. We've mixed the soundtrack straight off the 48-channel desk so that what audiences will get will be an incredibly upfront, intimate and powerful experience of the live show, coupled with a 5.1 surround sound that will blow people away.
Goodness me. Okay, so for those of you who are just new to this, what is Doc Moron? What was this stage musical?
It was a rock musical that my wife Lynn and I created some years ago. We produced it in Sydney in a theatre that we actually created from a disused cinema in the heart of Paddington. We called it the New Olympia. It was the old Palace Academy twin, which is quite ironic given that we're now back on the road with the show as a film. It's a rock musical driven by 21 original songs that Lynn and I wrote. And it follows the adventures of Edwina and Dougie, who are washed ashore on a mysterious island. And they are basically the narrative thread for us, the audience, as we spend a night on the island, and we share their experiences, their challenges, and we meet all of these crazy characters as we move through the island.
Well, let's meet some of the crazy characters. This is a track from the show called It Ain't Easy. Who's this?
This is sung by Bree Langridge, who's actually touring the country at the moment with Cats. She plays the part of Voodoo Valma. Now, Voodoo Valma is the voodoo queen, what's bad and mean. And we'll segue into this with a conversation between Valma and Moron, where Valma's trying to explain to Dr. Moron it just isn't all that easy being a voodoo queen. There's a lot of responsibility that goes with it.
All right. Now we're talking the same language, Doc. She's a steal at any price. A real collector's piece.
You like fat cat?
Don't call me fat, Valma.
Oh, sorry, big daddy. I wouldn't want to insult a powerful man like you. Why, I is your biggest fan, Doc. You and me, we're in the same line of work. We're in the same line of business, baby. You know what I was talking about. You and me, we are like-minded medical professionals, honey.
You just keep sticking pins in dolls, Valma, and leave the science to me. We are not, and will never be, in the same line of work. You are a fraud. I am a scientist.
You think it is easy to do what I do, Moron?
That's Moron, Valma. Moron.
I don't care what you call yourself. But if you think I enjoy slaving over a hot cauldron and shouting and screaming all day, then you is wrong. You think it is easy being a voodoo queen? Well, I'll tell you this, Big Daddy. It ain't. No, it ain't easy at all. If you think being me is easy, you don't know what you mean. I tell you, babe, it's no sure bet being a voodoo queen. It ain't easy, baby. No, it ain't. gotta dress my head in feathers and paint my face all blue. Roll my eyes and lick my lips. It's hard, I'm telling you. Oh, it ain't easy, baby. No, it ain't easy. No, it ain't easy, baby. Being a voodoo queen. Well, you might slice and dice and juggle the DNA. But sticking pins in voodoo dolls, that'll beat it every day, huh? Me, I like to mess with the spirits and set the evil dead ones free. But I need a man, Doc, to free the beast in me, huh? Oh, it ain't easy, baby. No, it ain't easy. It ain't easy, baby. Being a voodoo queen. Well, you and me, Doc Moron, we gotta get it on, huh? Oh, come on, baby, I just need a little bit of loving to help me get it on, huh? Oh, it ain't easy, baby. No, it ain't easy. No, it ain't easy, baby. Being a voodoo queen.
You with ABC, Mid-North and Coffs Coast. It ain't easy. It certainly ain't. And I'm with someone who knows it ain't easy. That's Chris Dockrill, the creator of Doc Moron. That was taken from the stage musical and now the film of the production. That's what we're talking about this morning, because he's going to be taking this around the world.
That's right, Cameron. We knew when we undertook this project that we couldn't raise the $7 to $8 million that you need to run a musical of this scale for 3, 6 or 9 months. So our plan was to use the money that we had to run it on a full scale and don't compromise on anything, but come out of it with this film. Now, with this film, we're in a unique position. I've Googled and I cannot find any other film of a live original rock musical coming out of Australia. So we now have this film, and we're going to take it to the most remote places in Australia. We're going to give people who normally don't have the opportunity to access live musicals, we're going to take it to them and really knock their socks off with it.
Yeah, so you just go to, hire old halls and picture theatres and what have you?
Yeah, it's a combination of screening facilities that we'll be using. Our main one is a fairly new company called FanForce, and their whole aim in life is to give independent filmmakers a chance to screen their film. So they negotiate with cinemas all around Australia and negotiate a price, and we roll our film in there. And so it's a fantastic setup. But in addition to that, we aim to film in arts halls, community halls, schools. We'll be taking our own projection and sound gear on the road for places, for example, like Kempsey, which still doesn't have a cinema. It will have, but it'll be a bit too late for Dr. Moron. But so our plan is to roll into some of the most remote places in Australia and deliver a super high fidelity 5.1 surround, knock your socks off movie. We're also planning to go to America, April, May. Amsterdam around about May, and from Amsterdam, we haven't negotiated anything east of there yet, but we've got somebody onto it, and London. So my plan is to take Dr. Moron to the world. We don't expect to be a Star Wars. We don't suffer from those delusions of grandeur, but we know that when people see this film, they will be knocked out, just like they were with the show. And it's one of those things that will grow word of mouth, social media, etc.
Well, we know that any kind of stage production that you do is so transient. It's presented, it's a live performance, and that's it. The candle blows out. But by making a film of it, you're reliving that performance or performances, and you're able to then package it up so that you can take it to a different audience.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, like modern technology being able to do that. The interesting thing is, though, that in actually directing the editing of the film, we did have to make choices about which parts of the show we wanted the audience to focus on, because it was interesting with Moron. We had a 10 metre by 7 metre stage, plus another stage 4 metres above it, behind the actual action, and with catwalks coming out right out over the audience. So, in fact, one of the comments that people would always make is, "I didn't know where to look. I didn't know where to look." With the film, they don't have a choice. They are focused on the main action, which again, it sort of intensifies the experience in a way. They don't have to worry about missing anything.
Well, let's not miss anything now. You're listening to ABC Radio on the Mid-North Coast and Coffs Coast. We're talking to Chris Dockrill, co-creator of Doc Moron, the musical, which is having a new life as a feature-length film. And from the film and from the musical, this is a track called Mission Statement. Chris, what's the story with Mission Statement?
As you'll hear in the lead into the song, this song is actually sung by Brother Bob. Brother Bob is this 6'7" black American preacher, and he's been thrown ashore on the island of Doctor Moron, and he's on a mission to take the message, the good word, to the heathen folk and to introduce them to some rock and roll. So let's have a listen to what he says.
What the hell is a preacher doing in a place like this?
What? You got guests, Thelma?
No, I don't come.
You want to know why Brother Bob's on this here Island of Doctor Moron, little white boy? The Lord, he spoke to me. He said, Bob, whoa. I said, God. He said, Bob. I said, God. He said, Bob. I said, God. He said, Bob, I want you to get yourself out of this here city of sin, man.
Get out.
So I gets me a ticket on a steamboat, and I says to the captain, I want to go to the islands. And so they throws me ashore on this here island of Dr. Moron. And here I is in the flesh, brothers and sisters.
Plenty of it.
And I got a strong and powerful urge to do some serious revival singing.
Yeah.
What you say, Voodoo Cats? Y'all ready for some of this here revival music? Hit the pig skins. Pound the tambourines. Let's go, baby.
Pig skin tambourine.
Woo! Oh, yeah, children. Listen to me. Brother Bob's here. Gonna set you free. Oh, yeah, children. Shake and sing. Say goodbye to all your sins. Oh, yeah, children. Listen to me. Brother Bob's here. Gonna set you free. Oh, yeah, children. Oh, yeah, children. Oh, yeah, children. Listen to me. Now, I'm on a mission, talking about a South Sea cruise, doing good works, got no time to lose. I gotta save the heathens, convert the soul, introduce them to some rock and roll. Oh yeah, children, listen to me. Brother Bob's here, gonna set you free. Oh yeah, children, now shake and sing. Say goodbye to all your sins. Oh yeah, children. Oh yeah, children.
That is Mission Statement from Doc Moron, the musical, and my guest is the co-creator of that musical. I'm talking about Chris Dockrill from the Mid-North Coast. Chris, let's go back in time. Your musical influences, what got you started on the whole idea of having a career involving in teaching and writing and creating?
Good question. I came to teaching after 3 years of actually studying law. I grew up, I was a teenager during the 60s. My first concert was Deep Purple, I think it was 1972, which I remember so clearly. My second one was Led Zeppelin. I mean, two of the great iconic rock bands of the baby boomers' lives. So I'm well and truly grounded in rock and blues. Love blues. As a teacher, I was very fortunate in my younger days to teach at an amazing school called Ku-ring-gai High School. And without blowing my own trumpet, it's now actually called a performing arts school because of the work that I did there in establishing a community theatre called the Sanctuary Players. But I must admit, it was the kids that got me involved. Many years ago, a couple of them came to me and asked me if I would produce Boy's Own Macbeth for them. And they'd already contacted Graham Bond, and he kindly let us use the script for free. And that's when I became hooked. I just loved it. And so from then on, I just over the years at Ku-ring-gai, I established our own little playhouse. It was a disused house on the resumption block that when they built the school, and the powers that be gave it to me. We gutted it. We turned it into a theatre that sat 80 people, and we drew people from all over Sydney. When we put on shows, they'd really come to see it. Knew that we produced quality. So from that, I started writing my own material. There is another side of me. My one-act plays are really serious. A lot of them are really serious, but musicals, Lynn and I have written 5, and they're for fun. And I always maintain, you go to a musical to have fun. You want to leave a musical feeling uplifted, and that's what we tried to do with the Island of Doctor Moron. And I think it worked because we had some people coming back to see our live show up to 7 times in 4 weeks. So,
well, the origins, as you mentioned, of Doc Moron, you and your wife wrote this musical, but you staged it here locally on the Mid-North Coast.
That's right. It originally started as a high school production, Kempsey High School. Again, I was very fortunate that the powers that be within Kempsey High School gave me a free run. When I said I want to put on a show, they would go, step aside, Chris is on the warpath. But so we produced Dr. Moron, I think, in 1998. And again, I think we ran for about 5 shows. About 2,000 people saw it, and heaps of people came back to see it 4 times in that 4 or 5 days of 5 performances. The kids loved being in it. We had local musicians being the band which drove it. We had an array of amazing singers within the school. So, yeah, Dr. Moron had a very satisfying sort of birth, if you like, in 1998. Yeah.
And why do you think it's important that high schools or schools in general have a program whereby they have musical theatre, they have this kind of drama that kids can get involved in? What do they learn from that?
They learn so much that goes beyond theatre skills, Cameron. And if you ask ex-students, even 20, 30 years down the track, what do you remember most about being at school? They'll remember the shows that they were in. They won't remember Mr. Dockrill's English lessons or his history lessons. They'll remember the shows. And the shows instill a level of discipline that is so valuable for life skills. People who do drama and are in the theatres, in theatrical productions at schools, they go into such a wide variety of professions, but they take with them the discipline of turning up in their own time, of seeing a job done, of getting on with a team of people that they may not even like, and giving everything. Because when they step out onto a stage, they really have to give everything. But it's all the backstage people too, the kids who work as the crew. It's interesting, I've noticed most of the kids who've crewed for me go straight into employment when they leave school. You know, they are that type of person. They're so reliable. So, yeah.
Well, look, the actual film, as we mentioned, it's going to be having its screening in the Dendy Cinema in Sydney. That's coming
the
up.
Opera Keys.
That's coming up pretty soon.
The 23rd of March at 6:30. Yes. If people Google the Island of Doctor Moron film or the Island of Doctor Moron fan force, they'll be able to see our trailer, which was released last week, which is quite amazing. And if they're interested, they'll be able to work out how to go there.
Alrighty. And then, as you say, you're going to try and bring some screenings locally.
Oh, definitely. In fact, once we do the capital cities of Australia, we then hit the regions, and the Mid-North Coast has always been the first region for sentimental reasons, obviously. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll keep across the dates and times and so forth. But I also asked you to bring in some music that was an influence on you in your career. And you brought in this CD by Jeannie Lewis.
Well, I picked that one, Cameron. I also picked, overseas artists like Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple. But Jeannie Lewis was very special. She's an Australian. She's such an amazing singer. Lynn and I saw her whenever we could with Margaret Roadnight, another great Australian musician. And I picked this track. It's from an album called Tears of Steel. It's a double LP, and it's the LP I actually use when we are always having the perennial debate of whether vinyl is better than CDs. And I put this vinyl track on, and it's just perfect. So this is called Loser by Jeannie Lewis.
What a voice. That's Jeannie Lewis a quintessential Australian female icon of the 70s and an inspiration to Chris Dockrill. Chris, it's been fantastic having you in here.
Thank you so much, Cam, for having me. It's been great.
And we look forward to letting the audience know when they can come along and see the musical, Doc Moron. You're with ABC.
And a rule, okay?
Moron, moron, he is a moron.